Yeah, but I think anybody who's hearing this for the first time should just challenge their own views on what is a drug and what is not a drug, and just understand that your whole paradigm was created by the education you get from
from society.
Yeah.
Society. Beer, alcohol is acceptable. Caffeine is acceptable. Well, caffeine gets you up in the morning, gets you to work, to do your work. And on Friday night, on the weekend, you can have alcohol to dull your pain from the work of the week. You know, it's all about dulling your senses, you know? So not that I've particularly got anything about alcohol. I mean, as I said, I'll have a beer or wine, you know. I'm not anti-alcohol or teetotal or something, but I know that it can be a very destructive drug, and it's destroyed many lives. Many people have committed murders under the influence of alcohol, but nobody seems to have a problem with it. Because society says it's okay, it's acceptable, and maybe society needs to change.
How do you feel about cannabis, and what's your current relationship with cannabis?
I think cannabis is an amazing plant with so many benefits. I mean, cannabis or hemp. I mean, hemp is the plant with non-psychoactive. You can make from hemp, you can make so many things from hemp. You can replace paper. We don't need to chop down the trees. You can make fuel. I mean, Henry Ford, a lot of people don't know this. Henry Ford built the first Model T Ford out of hemp. How the fuck, what if a plant? How can you build a car out of plant? Because he made hempcrete from the hemp, which is stronger and lighter than steel, doesn't rust. He made the whole Model T Ford out of hempcrete. You can build a house out of hempcrete, and it also absorbs CO2 from the atmosphere. He fueled it with hemp ethanol. So he built this whole fucking car out of hemp. Would be great for the environment, but people in control of the banks, the financing, which he needed to produce his cars, are also involved in the steel industry and the petrochemical industry. So they didn't want that to happen. So they said, no, you're going to have to shelve that and make this, you know. You can make fuel from it. It's amazing. But the cannabis has amazing medical benefits. Does it have a negative? Yes. Everything has a negative. People sit around smoking weed all day and don't want to particularly do anything, make them procrastinate and what have you. So yeah, there's a negative effect, but it can be positive as well. Psychologically, it can be positive. Helps people with inflammation, with depression, with insomnia. Now we got CBD, which is a non-psychoactive extract from cannabis. That's now legally available. I hope to be bringing my own out to the market at some point. And then, you know, you've got the THC, which is the psychoactive part of it. And the THC as well. I mean, it's been proven in a lab. Dr. Sanchez from, if you're interested in having things proven in a lab, Dr. Sanchez from, I think it's Madrid University, has been working with THC for like 20 years and proven in the laboratory that it destroys cancer cells, it eats cancer cells. But apart from that, I mean, I've seen it in real life. I had friends that had cancer and they don't have cancer now because they took a very strong, not smoking because you won't get enough THC, but a very strong oil extract of cannabis. So it has massive, massive medical benefits, but it's not something you can patent, not something the pharmaceutical companies can make a ton of money from. And some states in the US where they made cannabis now legal, the rate of opioid addiction and problems is dramatically going down. Because instead of taking opioids from the doctor, which people get addicted to and are destructive, they're just smoking some weed, which is harmless. I mean, I got studies up to my eyeballs that I've read, so I have a lot of information. They've done longevity studies on people that smoke weed compared to control. They live longer, healthier lives. Even they did a study on pregnant women in Jamaica who smoke heavily during the pregnancy to help with the, you know, the whole process and the pain and everything like that. And they studied the babies. So this huge misconception, falsehood, which seems to be pushed more in the UK than anywhere else, that cannabis somehow causes some mental problems or schizophrenia and things like that. So if a pregnant woman's inhaling cannabis, heavily on a daily basis, as Jamaican pregnant women may do, as they did in this study. And the baby, the placenta, is part of your body. It's being fed by your blood. So it's receiving your blood, which is full of THC. The little baby, I'm sure the brain would be affected more because it's very small and delicate. So they studied the development of the babies who came from the ladies that were smoking cannabis during the pregnancy to see how they progressed against control subjects. They found out they advanced faster than all other babies. So that's, pretty much disproves the brain problem that's been pushed. So all this information is coming out, and I don't know how long it will take, 10 years, 15 years, and people will look back and say, man, this plant that was just hugely beneficial for everybody, for mankind, used to be demonized, and they used to think it was bad for you. Can you believe that? That's what people are going to say in the future. And sometimes I'm ahead a little bit, like with the training and the diet and everything. Things I was saying in the 90s, like scientists were saying it 15, 20 years later from their studies that they did, but I already did my studies, so.